And I guess bringing in a new White Wolf at this point in the season, a bold move and a tall order for Liam.
And of course, he wanted to honor the character that had already been set up, because he knows that he's stepping into a role. But at the same time, he wanted to make sure that his performance was authentic, that it felt like him, that he wasn't playing and mimicking anything. And so
let's just say the reaction is exactly what we expected. It is getting completely and totally annihilated by the fans. In fact, season 4 earned series low Rotten Tomatoes score as Liam Hemsworth Geralt arrives on Netflix.
I'm the most annoying guy on set because I'm saying, excuse me, you do realize that this should be happening and they wouldn't do that, and you haven't read this, that means this would be impossible. And everyone's just going, Henry, just shut up and do the thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do the thing because he wouldn't do it this way, and he can do it.
Yeah. And that's where you start to get more uncomfortable, and you're thinking, there's not a performance.
The Witcher Season 4 is out, and looks like they needed Henry after all. 56% critic score, 17% audience score, and if you're like, wow, I really trust the critics, the audience is probably just review bombing it, then you're gonna have to explain why the top critics is 33% as well. That means 2/3 of them didn't think it was above a 5.
It was posted last night. Netflix's Q2 report came out, and apparently they lost 1 million subscribers in the second quarter of this year, which we already saw that at the beginning of the year, they lost 200,000. The next month, they lost another couple 100,000, and they had projected that they were going to lose a couple million over the next few months. I don't really think people believed it, but it happened.
Millions of people are canceling their Netflix subscriptions. Why Netflix stock is absolutely tanking right now. I mean, it is just collapsing totally in the red. And you can see that it is on a massive downward slope this month. It's cratering. Why is that happening?
And you have a sense that you're going, is this really necessary?
I watched about 40 minutes of the first episode, and I ended up texting Gary, and I just said, dude, I cannot do this. I'm 40 odd minutes in. I'm done. I've had enough. This is utter.
As the years have gone by, Netflix's Witcher series has gotten worse and worse. Recasts, rewrites, moving further away from the source material has truly damaged this show to the point of no return. There's no way that they could save it going into the last season. But now that season 4 is out and we only have one more to go, this show is basically hated by everybody.
Let me ask you guys something. Are you excited for Witcher season 4?
Isn't it out right now on Netflix?
Just coming out, and the reviews have started to drop. So
because I looked on Rotten Tomatoes, and bear in mind, given the backlash, I would expect a little bit of review bombing. So people who haven't seen it but who hate the concept. Oh no, you're behind, Drinker.
It's down to, is it changed?
It's down to 17%.
Something unbelievable just came out of The Witcher set, and it might be the final nail in the coffin for Netflix's already struggling fantasy series.
For all the positive reviews, well, you've got IGN, that's never a good sign, and as Critical Drinker says, they can't exactly be trusted when The Penguin got a 5, The Witcher got a 7, and The Marvels got an 8. It basically looks like their score goes up the more girl power a series has. Siri. Although they did give Willow a 9, so there are times when they absolutely knock it out of the park.
Because this time, it isn't just about Henry Cavill leaving, or fans hating the new Geralt. This time, it's about a secret that Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich, the showrunner herself, allegedly exposed.
The Witcher was supposed to be 7 seasons, but it was abruptly cut down to 5 after Henry Cavill left, and Lauren Hissrich is lucky she got that. But she does say, are there more stories? Maybe. Well, actually, there's a lot because you skipped them. But this one has to end at this point. So I think it's a nice time for all of us to step back a little bit. And that probably has a lot to do with the audience stepping back a long time ago.
According to reports flying all over social media, Lauren leaked behind-the-scenes photos that appear to show a voice actor recording lines for Liam Hemsworth's Geralt. Wait, a voice actor for Geralt? Fans are losing their minds, claiming Liam didn't actually perform Geralt's famous heavy voice, that gravelly growl that made the character iconic. And if what Lauren exposed is real, it could mean the entire production was trying to fake it.
And The Witcher showrunner also addressed the backlash to the show. No one's taking the books away. No one's taking the video games away. Everyone can have their version of The Witcher. Unfortunately for you, Lauren, it turns out no one wanted your version.
The Witcher Season 4 was already under fire, with fans destroying it online. But now, between Lauren's alleged exposure and the claims that Liam couldn't handle the role, things have spiraled into something even darker.
What the f is this piece of sh**?
In this video, we're breaking down exactly what happened, the chaos behind Cavill's exit, the massive backlash against Liam, and how Lauren Schmidt might have just exposed the show's biggest secret yet, because what she revealed could explain why Season 4 is being torn apart by fans, and why Netflix might be quietly panicking behind the scenes. But before we dive into what Lauren leaked, we have to go back to where it all started, the moment Henry Cavill walked away. When Henry Cavill first took on the role of Geralt of Rivia, fans didn't just see an actor, they saw a real-life Witcher. He knew the lore, he played the games, he respected the source material like it was sacred text. Every line, every glare, every growl felt authentic. You could feel that he loved being Geralt. So when he suddenly announced that Season 3 would be his last, it sent shockwaves through the fandom. Most people didn't believe it at first. Why would the man who lived this role walk away? Then whispers started spreading. Henry was frustrated. He'd wanted to keep the show close to the books, but the creative team, led by showrunner Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich, reportedly had other ideas. The internet exploded. Petitions popped up overnight begging Netflix to reconsider. Memes flooded Twitter. Fans swore they wouldn't watch another episode without Cavill. For many, The Witcher was Henry Cavill. So when Netflix announced Liam Hemsworth as his replacement, the reaction wasn't excitement, it was disbelief. Liam? Really? Fans wrote. The guy from the Hunger Games? How is he going to sound like Geralt? That single question, the voice, became an obsession. Geralt's voice wasn't just part of the character, it was the character. That deep, rough growl that felt carved from stone. The one-liners that sounded like thunder wrapped in sarcasm. People doubted Liam could pull it off. Even before a single clip was released, the memes started. Geralt's gonna sound like he just left a protein shake ad. At first it was funny, but as early leaks from the Season 4 set began to surface, that laughter turned into anger. Because for many fans, the clips didn't just show a different actor, they showed a completely different soul. The grittiness was gone, the chemistry was off, even the trailers couldn't hide it. Something about Geralt's voice just felt wrong. It wasn't Liam's fault entirely, he had impossible shoes to fill, but still, fans weren't forgiving. And as the hate spread, Netflix's confidence started to crumble. The same people who once celebrated The Witcher as their flagship fantasy series were now roasting it. Ratings predictions dropped. YouTubers made hour-long breakdowns comparing every grunt, every whisper between Cavill and Hemsworth. But nobody expected what came next, because just when fans thought the show couldn't sink any lower, Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich, the showrunner who'd already been under fire for ruining The Witcher, did something that stunned everyone. She allegedly leaked behind-the-scenes photos that changed everything, and what those images showed made fans furious. The first images appeared late one night, blurry, almost casual, like someone accidentally posted them. They showed what looked like a recording booth. Inside, a man with a headset on, standing in front of a mic, staring at a monitor showing Geralt on screen. The file name, Witcher_S4_voicedub_LH.mp4. Within minutes, the screenshots spread like wildfire. Reddit threads exploded. Twitter hashtags went insane. Was this real? Did Liam Hemsworth actually need a voice double to sound like Geralt? Some fans said it had to be fake, a deepfake rumor, or AI content meant to stir drama. But then people noticed something chilling. The person who'd posted the image was none other than Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich, the official showrunner's verified account. The post was quickly deleted, but not before fans grabbed screenshots. And from there, everything spiraled. Suddenly, everyone had a theory. Some claimed Lauren exposed Liam intentionally, maybe out of frustration, maybe as a way to distract from Season 4's savage reviews. Others said it was a mistake, a scheduled post gone wrong. But the damage was already done. Comments flooded every Witcher forum imaginable. Wait, so Liam can't even do the voice? They fired Henry Cavill for this? This is just embarrassing at this point. Fan trust hit rock bottom. Even longtime defenders of the show started questioning what was happening behind the scenes. If the lead actor couldn't perform Geralt's signature tone, what else was being faked? And to make things worse, clips from new trailers only fueled the speculation. People started isolating lines of dialogue, running voice analyses, comparing audio spectrums to prove that the voice was dubbed. Some even claimed the tone shifted mid-scene, that you could hear the moment the real Liam's voice faded and the mystery actor took over. By now, The Witcher wasn't trending for the story or the visuals. It was trending because everyone wanted to know the same thing. Did Netflix really think fans wouldn't notice? Lauren Schmidt's name became a lightning rod. Every tweet she made was met with thousands of angry comments. She tried to play it off, joking about behind-the-scenes fun, but it only made things worse. Fans called it the most insulting PR move since the Game of Thrones coffee cup incident. And while Lauren was being dragged across social media, Liam Hemsworth went completely silent. No interviews, no statements, no posts, which, of course, only fueled the fire. To fans, it looked like the showrunner had exposed him, and he couldn't even defend himself. But what if that's exactly what happened? What if this leak wasn't a mistake at all? but a calculated move from someone desperate to shift the blame? Because after the backlash exploded, Lauren's next move made people question everything about The Witcher's future. The next morning, the internet woke up to chaos. Screenshots of Lauren Schmidt's deleted post were everywhere. Twitter, Reddit, Discord servers, every fan space had the same set of photos plastered across timelines. And the strangest part? None of them looked fake. One showed the sound engineer's monitor. On it, Liam's Geralt in a tense fight scene, but the voice waveform didn't match his lip movements. Another shot showed a man standing next to Lauren herself, holding a mic mid-line with a caption scribbled across the screen that read, "Helping Liam find Geralt's growl." That line, "Helping Liam find Geralt's growl," instantly became a meme. Within hours, hashtags like #FakeGeralt and #FindYourGrowl were trending. Clips from the new season were being torn apart, frame by frame, as fans tried to prove which scenes were Liam's real voice and which were the dub. But the real mystery wasn't just the photos. It was why they existed in the first place. If this was real, why would the showrunner herself leak something that insulting to her own star? That's when the theories started spiraling out of control. Some said Lauren wanted to shift blame away from herself, that by exposing Liam's struggle, she could make the backlash look like his fault, not hers. Others believed it was an accident, a simple social media slip. But that theory didn't hold up for long because more photos surfaced, and this time they didn't come from her account. Anonymous insiders began dropping unseen images onto fan forums. One showed a note pinned to a recording room wall that read, "Geralt Final Mix, voice V3. Another, supposedly from a Netflix production server, had file names like Geralt Dub Session _LH_approved.mp3. At that point, the fandom went nuclear. People started accusing the production of trying to deceive the audience, calling it dishonest, lazy, and Hollywood fakery at its worst. Lauren stayed silent for a few days, letting speculation run wild. But then she broke that silence, and it only made things worse. She posted a short thread saying, "Every actor brings their own version of Geralt. Every sound mix brings the character to life." It sounded poetic, but fans weren't having it. They flooded her comments with one savage question. "Are you saying Liam didn't actually perform the voice?" No answer, no denial, just more silence. And by then, even Liam Hemsworth couldn't escape it. Every clip, every interview, every trailer was dissected like evidence in a courtroom. People compared his tone from The Hunger Games to his Witcher voice and found discrepancies. The fan base split in two. Some defended Liam, saying he was trying his best under impossible circumstances. Others accused the show of being a total fabrication, an illusion built on editing tricks, sound design, and PR spin. And behind it all, Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich became the villain of her own show. Not because she directed a bad season, but because she had allegedly exposed the illusion herself. But that wasn't even the end, because as the storm of outrage reached Netflix's doorstep, things behind the scenes got even darker. And what happened next made fans realize that this leak might not have been accidental at all. The morning after Lauren's tweet storm, the Witcher subreddit looked like a war zone. Fans were posting side-by-side videos of Cavill's gravelly growl next to Liam's scenes. One viral post titled "The Voice of a Pretender" hit 1 million views overnight. People weren't just angry anymore. They felt betrayed. They had accepted Cavill's departure reluctantly, hoping at least that the production would respect the character. But now, it looked like they had replaced Geralt with an imitation, a performance stitched together by editing rooms and studio magic. And that's when the memes began to twist into something meaner. People started calling Liam lip-sync Geralt. Others joked that Netflix should have hired an AI voice instead, since it would sound more authentic. Even gaming streamers began roasting the situation during live shows. For the first time, Netflix's marketing team had to turn off comments on promotional posts. Trailers that were meant to rebuild hype were now getting ratioed into oblivion. One trailer on YouTube received over 800,000 dislikes before Netflix quietly unlisted it. Meanwhile, Lauren Schmidt tried to contain the fire, giving cryptic interviews about creative freedom and collaborative sound choices. But every time she spoke, the internet twisted her words into fresh headlines. One outlet ran the story. Lauren confirms Liam didn't record all his dialogue. Another claimed Netflix used sound double to fix Hemsworth's voice. Whether those quotes were real or not didn't even matter anymore. The perception was set. To the public, the show was a fraud, and Lauren was the one who exposed it. And the pressure on Liam, unimaginable. Paparazzi photos showed him avoiding interviews, skipping press events, and even refusing to talk about The Witcher entirely. He was trapped in a nightmare, trying to step into Cavill's armor while the world roasted every line he said. Then came the fan compilations. Clips comparing Cavill's Geralt saying, versus Liam's version. Henry sounded menacing, ancient, tired, like a man who'd seen monsters and survived. Liam's version sounded, well, human, too human. The difference was savage, and every viral comparison made the backlash even louder. But what really sent shockwaves through the industry was when insiders began whispering that Lauren's leak might not have been a mistake at all, but part of an internal feud. Rumors suggested Lauren had clashed with Netflix executives over creative direction, and that the leak was her way of saying, "You wanted this casting? Fine, let the world see how it turned out." If that was true, it meant Lauren had sabotaged her own project and her star, just to prove a point. And while fans were busy laughing at memes, Netflix's internal team was panicking. The Witcher wasn't just losing fans, it was losing credibility. credibility. And the worst part? This wasn't even the end of the scandal, because Lauren's next move would take the entire controversy to a level that no one, not even Netflix, could control. While the internet was tearing The Witcher apart, Liam Hemsworth stayed completely silent. No tweets, no interviews, not even a polite, "I'm excited for the season." At first, people assumed it was a PR strategy. Stay quiet, let the chaos burn out. But as days turned into weeks, that silence began to feel like something else. Fear. Inside Hollywood, word started to leak that Liam wasn't taking the backlash well. Crew members whispered that he'd stopped watching playback of his own scenes. He'd record a line, listen to it once, shake his head, and say, "Do another." The pressure to sound like Cavill was crushing him. Everyone expected comparisons, sure, but no one warned him that fans would analyze his every breath. When early test screenings revealed that audiences reacted negatively to his softer tone, Netflix allegedly called in a vocal consultant. The consultant's job? Teach Liam how to find the gravel. But the damage was done. People online were already convinced the growl wasn't his, and after Lauren's accidental leak, every attempt Liam made to prove himself looked like a cover-up. Behind the scenes, friends said he was furious, not just embarrassed, but betrayed. To him, it looked like Lauren had thrown him under the bus to protect her own reputation. He'd signed on to carry a beloved franchise, and now he was being portrayed as the man who couldn't even speak the part. Paparazzi caught him leaving a studio in LA face down, avoiding cameras. Articles popped up the next morning with headlines like, "Liam Hemsworth can't find his voice." It was savage. Then a small interview snippet resurfaced, an older clip where Liam once joked, "I'm no Geralt, but I'll give it my best growl." Out of context, it looked like he was admitting the rumors. The clip went viral overnight, fueling another wave of roast. By now, the Witcher brand was bad. No one was talking about storylines, cinematography, or monster fights, only about who voiced what line. And the saddest part? Most people forgot Liam was actually a talented actor caught in an impossible situation. But Hollywood isn't kind to anyone caught in a scandal. And as Liam tried to hide from the noise, Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich made a move that would push the backlash into full-blown disaster, because instead of defending him, she doubled down. Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich had two options: stay quiet and let the storm fade, or fight back and reclaim control. She chose the second, and it backfired spectacularly. In an interview meant to set the record straight, she tried to explain what happened. Her words were meant to sound diplomatic, but they came out sharp. Every actor brings their own interpretation. Sometimes sound design helps shape the tone we imagine for the character. To her, it was a harmless industry truth. To the fandom, it was confirmation that Liam's voice was manufactured. Within hours, blogs ran with headlines like, "Lauren admits voice editing on Hemsworth." Clips from her interview were clipped, remixed, and posted everywhere with dramatic music underneath. She tried to stop the rumors, and accidentally proved them right. Insiders said Netflix executives were furious. The marketing team begged her to stop talking publicly, but Lauren wasn't done. She posted again, this time claiming she had receipts that proved nothing deceptive had happened. The post included screenshots of audio timelines, production notes, and studio logs, but fans zoomed in on one label that read Geralt Dub Final Mix and ignored everything else. It was over. Every shred of evidence she provided just made the internet dig deeper. Reddit threads titled "Lauren Caught Editing Proof" hit the front page. YouTubers uploaded 20-minute breakdowns of her screenshots, claiming to find hidden edits and inconsistencies. Every time she defended herself, the memes multiplied. Then came the speculation about her motives. Some said she wanted to embarrass Liam to regain creative power inside Netflix. Others believed she was sabotaging her own project to prove that replacing Cavill was a mistake. Whatever the truth, one thing became clear: she'd lost control of the narrative. Even people inside the production began distancing themselves. Writers, designers, and VFX artists started quietly removing The Witcher from their bios. Morale on set reportedly collapsed. Everyone felt like they were part of a sinking ship, and Lauren was the captain fighting the crew instead of steering it. When asked again about the controversy during a red carpet appearance, she laughed nervously and said, "Well, at least people are talking about the show." That clip alone sparked another avalanche of outrage, because fans weren't laughing anymore. They felt roasted, as if the creative team didn't care about the heart of the story they'd fallen in love with. And by that point, even Netflix couldn't hide the cracks. Ratings projections dropped to their lowest in series history, and internal sources whispered that Season 5's renewal was under review. The Witcher had gone from Netflix's crown jewel to a public relations nightmare, and it all started with one accidental leak. But Lauren wasn't finished yet, because after everything, the leaks, the backlash, she was about to make a final decision that would change the future of The Witcher forever. Behind the polished press statements, Netflix was in full-blown crisis mode. Emails leaked from the marketing department showed emergency meetings titled Project Silver Damage Control. Executives wanted one thing: silence. No more tweets, no more interviews, no more creative freedom quotes from Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich. But the fire had already jumped the containment lines. Media outlets from gossip blogs to mainstream entertainment sites were publishing daily updates on The Witcher meltdown. Every article recycled the same question: did Netflix Netflix fake Geralt's voice? Meanwhile, fan petitions demanding Henry Cavill's return passed 1 million signatures. Viewership predictions dropped so sharply that advertisers began pulling placements from upcoming promotional spots. Inside the studio, panic turned to blame. Writers pointed fingers at the producers. Producers blamed marketing. Marketing blamed Lauren. And Lauren, she blamed the fans. In a tense internal memo that later leaked, she allegedly wrote, "We built something bold, and the audience refuses to let it evolve." That single sentence was enough to ignite another explosion online. People quoted it endlessly, calling her Hollywood arrogance personified. Even neutral critics started joining the dogpile. Then came the numbers. An early screening for test audiences scored lower than any major Netflix fantasy show to date. One reviewer described it bluntly. "It looks expensive, but it feels hollow, like a copy of a copy." The board held an emergency video call with the creative team. Rumor says Lauren was given an ultimatum. Fix the PR disaster before premiere, or the studio would reevaluate leadership for season 5. She promised she could turn it around. Her plan? A last-minute re-edit. Lauren proposed to remix Liam's voice entirely, blend his natural tone with a mysterious double, and smooth out the differences so no one could tell. The irony was painful. The very thing that got her into trouble was now her only option to save the show. But the technicians couldn't meet the deadlines, and Netflix knew it. Behind closed doors, executives were already preparing for impact, cutting budgets, freezing merchandise deals, quietly shelving spin-off concepts. By now, even casual fans knew something was deeply wrong. The trailers vanished from the front page. Social media ads disappeared overnight. And when journalists asked why, the studio only replied with a 2-word statement: strategic pause. That's when people realized The Witcher might not survive this. Weeks later, after the chaos settled into silence, something strange happened. People stopped arguing about voices and leaks and started asking a bigger question. How did one of the most beloved fantasy worlds fall apart so fast? The answer wasn't simple. Sure, the voice scandal was embarrassing and Cavill's departure hurt, but underneath all that was a deeper issue, a disconnect between creators and the audience that once worshipped them. Henry Cavill had represented passion. He loved the lore, respected the fans, fought for the details that made the story real. When he left, it felt like the soul of the series walked away with him. What came next was corporate reconstruction, executives chasing algorithms, writers reinventing characters for trends, and a showrunner trying to hold it all together while pretending nothing was wrong. Lauren's exposure wasn't just a scandal, it was a symptom of a creative machine more focused on optics than authenticity. And Liam, he became the collateral damage, a talented actor turned scapegoat in a battle he never asked for. Fans roasted him, but deep down, many pitied him too. He stepped into a storm built long before he arrived, and no amount of vocal training could save him from it. By the time season 4 finally premiered, the story wasn't about monsters or magic anymore. It was about perception, how a fandom can build someone up and tear them down overnight. The Witcher universe, once filled with mystique and loyalty, had become a case study in how quickly trust can vanish when transparency fades. Maybe that's the real tragedy here. Not that Lauren exposed Liam, but that she exposed what Hollywood has become, a place where authenticity is optional and illusion is strategy. The Witcher began as a legend, a hero's tale about destiny, honor, and the monsters we fight within. But behind the cameras, a very different monster was born. Lauren Schmidt's alleged leak shattered the illusion, revealing a production held together by secrecy and ego. Liam Hemsworth, caught in the crossfire, became both a face and the victim of that illusion. And the fans, they became the witnesses, watching a world they loved unravel in slow motion. Whether or not the rumor of a voice double was ever fully true almost doesn't matter anymore, because perception is reality online. And once the internet decides a story is true, no press release can change it. So maybe Geralt's deepest line, "Evil is evil, lesser, greater, middling, makes no difference," now feels prophetic. In this case, the evil wasn't a monster hiding in the shadows. It was the pride, the secrecy, and the refusal to listen, the real curses haunting Hollywood. And as the credits roll on this chapter of The Witcher, one question lingers. Can a story built on betrayal ever win back its honor? Or has the continent lost its last hero, not in battle, but behind the microphone?